Area 21. Gem Cutter's Workshop. An Umber Hulk barged into this room from the north and exited to the south, destroying 2 stone doors and much of the room. This area contains the following. 4 quartz pillars fill this room with bright light. 4 work areas in the middle of the room meant for gem cutting have been reduced to rubble. A character who searches through the rubble can salvage 1 set of jeweler's tools. Area 22. Gem Extraction. Rocks containing gemstone deposits would be transported to this area to have the gems expertly extracted by the Melairkin dwarves. 22A. Zorn Orts. Tables. 4 20-foot-long, 5-foot-wide, 3-foot-high stone tables stand in the middle of the room. Zorn. Piles of broken rocks surround the tables, some as high as 6 feet. A Zorn is picking through the rocks and licking the gem dust off them. If it notices the characters, the Zorn approaches them and demands gemstones and precious metals, speaking in Terran. The Zorn can sense if the characters are carrying such treasure, and it attacks if its demands aren't met. 22B. Open Pit. The dwarves disposed of rocks by casting them into pits. When a pit became full, it was covered using stone shape spells and a new pit was created. This open pit is 10 feet wide and 70 feet deep, but it's filled with rocks to a depth of 50 feet. Creatures knocked into the pit fall 20 feet, taking 2d6 bludgeoning damage. Area 23. Stripped Room. 4 quartz pillars illuminate this otherwise empty room. Temple guests used to be quartered here, but Hallister had the area stripped of its furnishings years ago. Area 24. Archgate to Level 2. Temple workers were once housed here, but Hallister had this chamber's furnishings destroyed. The room is now empty except for an archgate set into the east wall. See Gates in Dungeon Features. Carved into the archgate's keystone is an image of a rust monster. The rules of this gate are as follows. Touching the arch with a non-magical item made entirely of ferrous metal, such as an iron spike, reduces the item to powdered rust and opens the gate for 1 minute. Characters must be 6th level or higher to pass through this gate. See Jaceera Kestelharp in Undermountain Secrets. The first creature to pass through the gate triggers an Elder Rune. See Elder Runes in Dungeon Features. A creature that passes through the gate appears in Area 20C on Level 2, in the closest unoccupied space next to the identical gate located there. Area 25. Dwarven Den. Stone couches and tray holders occupy the northeast and southwest corners. Lying on the dusty floor beneath one of the couches is an iron key that unlocks the double doors to Area 10. A search of the room reveals the key. 26. Sacred Spirits. Characters approaching this room hear a loud ruckus. The chamber's stone door has been smashed to rubble, and a hostile Umber Hulk is laying waste to the room. The Hulk's tremor sense allows it to detect other creatures approaching on foot. When the characters get close, it crashes through the wall north of the doorway, hoping to surprise them. The dwarves kept alcoholic spirits here. The beverages are long evaporated, and the Umber Hulk has pulverized the stone shelves, vats, and bottles that remain. Nothing here is salvageable. Area 27. Archgate to Level 4. Embedded in the south wall is an archway with 6 shallow, empty niches carved into it. The wall inside the arch is carved with a stylized image of a mountain with a sun above it. The arch is one of Hallister's magic gates. See Gates in Dungeon Features. Its rules are as follows. If the elf figurine taken from Skella in Area 15A is touched to the sun symbol, the gate opens for 1 minute. Characters must be 8th level or higher to pass through this gate. See Jaceera Kestelharp in Undermountain Secrets. The first creature to pass through the gate triggers an Elder Rune. See Elder Runes in Dungeon Features. A creature that passes through the gate appears in Area 10 on Level 4, in the closest unoccupied space next to the similar gate located there. The adventurers may be loath to return to the Twisted Caverns if Iluun, the Aboleth, yet lives. This gate in particular delivers travelers to the Webbed Drider Lair, Area 10, on L4, opening the gate. Skella holds the elf figurine necessary to open this gate and is loath to part with it, but will use it as leverage in a possible deal. Aftermath. The Twisted Caverns may be in an even worse state than when the adventurers first arrived. If Iluun emerged victorious, House Avrindar is sure to fall prey to its influence. Even if the Quotois won, they stand little chance against the drow, and House Ovrendar's agents will control the most vital passages. Any deals made between them and the party back then are sure to be null and void by now. Area 28, False Tomb. The tomb is lit with the light of heaven itself, and filled with the rusted trophies of conquered foes, all glaring in the light emitted by those quiet quartz pillars. Helms, shields, armor fragments, weapons, all lie before a shattered stone sarcophagus. Hallister's game. When the party investigates the room, add, "You've done it. Hunted by unseen entities, you found the Tomb of Melair, the ancient king and lord of Undermountain. Now what?" Hallister is strangely quiet when the adventurers arrive. Shouldn't he announce some culmination of his game? His silence should confound the party. You can add two helmed horrors that knit themselves together from the rusted arms and armor on the floor. They hurl themselves at the adventurers, dwarves or not, and shout in Dwarvish, "You seek the secrets of King Melair? Then take them." This is the only thing they can say. This chamber is dressed to fool treasure seekers into thinking they have found the tomb of the Melairkin king. Its features are as follows. 6 glowing quartz pillars fill the room with bright light. Rusted helms, shields, armor fragments, and weapons cover the floor. This detritus makes the entire room difficult terrain. The arms and armor were fashioned by orcs, goblinoids, drow, duergar, and other enemies of the dwarves. No dwarven items can be found among the wreckage. A deep alcove in the north wall is mostly clear of metal wreckage and contains a shattered stone sarcophagus. Engraved in the back wall of the alcove is a dwarvish inscription that reads, "Our king is with the gods. Here lie his bones." A secret door in the south wall swings open into Area 29A. Dwarven bones are scattered around the smashed sarcophagus, but a character who studies the wreckage and succeeds on a DC 20 intelligence investigation check can tell that the scene has been cleverly staged to fool tomb robbers. Area 29, King Melair's Lost Tomb. The dwarves have left many surprises here to prevent tomb robbers from reaching their king's resting place. 29A, Second False Tomb. This tomb has a 10-foot-high vaulted ceiling. A black marble sarcophagus flecked with gold stands close to the south wall, its lid carved in the likeness of a dwarf king. 10 glittering panels are set into the west, south, and east walls. Each panel is a 6-foot-tall, 3-foot-wide, 1-inch-thick rectangle of golden crystal, carved with the bas-relief image of a dwarf warrior clutching a battle-axe. The panel in the middle of the south wall is set into a secret door that swings open into Area 29B. The lid of the sarcophagus can be lifted by creatures with a combined strength of 20 or more. Removing the lid triggers a magic mouth spell that admonishes interlopers in Dwarvish. "You dishonor our beloved king. May his tomb become yours as well." After this warning, all 10 battle-axes break free of their panels, whether on the walls or not, see treasure, and attack the tomb's interlopers. The sarcophagus contains tatters of a black shroud, the dust and bones of a nameless dwarf, and the bones of a mole that was accidentally sealed in with the dwarf's remains. The crystal panels can be carefully pried from the walls. Each panel weighs 50 pounds and is worth 500 GP or 50 GP without its crystal battle-axe. 29B, First Interstitial Hall. This hall is choked with dust and cobwebs. It ends in an unlocked door that opens into the next hall. 29C, Second Interstitial Hall. This hall is choked with dust and cobwebs. It ends in a blank wall that holds a hidden secret door. The secret door is locked, and the mechanism to unlock it is located at the bottom of a hidden pit. The pit in this hall is 10 feet wide and 30 feet deep. A character who searches the floor for traps and succeeds on a DC 20 Wisdom, Perception, check spots the trap. When a weight of 50 pounds or more is placed on the cover of the pit trap, the cover swings open like a trap door, causing any creature standing on it to fall in and take 10, 3d6 bludgeoning damage. The pit remains open for 1 minute, then its cover rises up on hidden springs and snaps shut. A successful DC 20 strength check can pry the pit open. Hammering spikes or pitons into the edge of the pit's lid prevents it from opening. A character in the pit can disable the spring mechanism from the inside with a successful DC 15 dexterity check using thieves' tools, as long as the character can reach the mechanism at the top of the pit and can see. Hidden among the flagstones on the pit's floor is a stone button that, when pressed, unlocks the secret door to Area 29D. A character who searches the bottom of the pit can find the button with a successful DC 12 Wisdom perception check. 29D, Gods and Demons. Watching over this chamber are 4 9-foot-tall stone statues of imperious dwarves. Hanging on the south wall between the statues of Moradin and Baranar is a thick tapestry depicting King Melair, his adamantine war-pick in hand as he battles a purple worm. The tapestry is too moldy and frayed to be worth anything. The wall behind the tapestry is a magical conjuration. It doesn't detect as such under the scrutiny of a detect magic spell, but it vanishes if targeted by a successful dispel magic spell, DC 16. It also ceases to exist while contained in the area of an anti-magic field spell. It otherwise looks and feels solid. The statues represent the dwarven deities Moradin, god of creation, Baranar Truesilver, god of hearth and home, Clangeddin Silverbeard, god of battle, and Marthamor Duin, god of exploration. A demon is trapped in each statue. See Trapped Demons below. Each statue is a large object with AC 15, 100 hit points, and immunity to poison and psychic damage. Toppling a statue requires a successful DC 22 Strength, Athletics check. A statue that topples or takes 10 or more damage cracks enough for the demon inside to erupt in a cloud of reeking black mist. It then coalesces into its true form in the nearest unoccupied space. Trapped Demons. The Melairkin dwarves trapped 4 demons in the statues after attempts to banish the fiends failed. A Barlgura in the statue of Moradin, a Hezru in the statue of Baronar, a Vrock in the statue of Clangeddin, and a Glabrezu in the statue of Marthamor. Over the centuries of its confinement, the Glabrezu has learned how to telepathically contact creatures in this room. Using its telepathy, it tries to trick an interloper into freeing it. Though the other 3 demons have telepathy, they are not powerful enough to use the ability while trapped in their statues. The Glabrezu makes telepathic contact with one character at random, congratulating that character on making it this far, and claiming to have the knowledge and power to reveal the way to King Melair's true tomb. It promises, truthfully, to do so in exchange for its release from captivity. If the Glabrezu is released, it casts dispel magic on the wall behind the tapestry, granting access to areas 29E and 29F, then lets the characters desecrate King Melair's tomb before it attacks them. If it needs allies, it knocks over more of the statues to free the other demons. These weaker demons obey the Glabrezu for as long as it benefits them to do so. If the first character it approaches refuses to help the Glabrezu escape, it makes contact with each of the other party members in turn. If it realizes none of the characters can be swayed, it screams vile epithets and vows to destroy them whenever it is set free. 29E. Hidden Alcove. A secret door in the back wall of the alcove opens into Area 29F-29F. True Tomb. A stone dais supports the true sarcophagus of King Melair, a perfectly cut slab of white marble with the name Melair etched in silver atop it in dwarvish lettering. The lid of the sarcophagus can be lifted by creatures with a combined strength of 20 or more. Treasure. Inside the sarcophagus is the mummified corpse of the dwarf king, clad in burial robes and clutching an adamantine war-pick. A sentinel shield bearing the symbol of Dumathoin rests atop the king's legs. Characters who sever one of the king's desiccated hands can use it to open the basalt doors in Area 15. Now let's see what the companion has to add. Hallister's game is nearly at an end, so long as the party or Duergar can brave Melair's tomb and commit themselves to desecrating the corpse of a good king. Area 29D. Gods and Demons. 4 imperious stone dwarves keep an eternal vigil over this chamber. On the far side hangs a great tapestry depicting King Melair, his war-pick bloodied and gleaming as he leads his men against a gargantuan purple worm whose mandibles have torn the very stone to shreds. The Glabrezu makes telepathic contact with the adventurers as they enter the room. It poses as Gorn, one of King Melair's elite bodyguards who volunteered to keep eternal vigil over this place. In the eons since, Gorn has come to regret his decision and wishes to be free. He pleads with the party. Dwarven characters know that Gorn is a typical shield dwarf name. True to its nature, the demon is sly and cunning. It can mimic a Dwarven accent and has a +7 to any charisma, deception, checks it makes. It does not, however, know anything but the basics of Dwarven history. It can relate superficial knowledge of the Melairkin dwarves, but outside that, it knows nothing special that might convince wary characters. When the demon reaches out, read the following. A voice slithers into your mind, and for once it isn't the Mad Mage of Undermountain. No, this voice is weak, haggard, desperate. Please, the voice pleads. Our king is with the gods. There is no need to watch over this tomb any longer. Our spirits languish under the duty we swore to so long ago. After being freed, the Glabrezu casts Dispel magic on the tapestry, granting access to areas 29E and 29F. While the adventurers desecrate the Tomb of Melair, the demon frees its brethren from the statues. The sounds of shattering stone can be easily heard, but the Barlgura casts invisibility on itself. Tactics. On its very first turn, the Glabrezu attempts to free its brethren if they aren't free already. Using its multi-attack, it casts confusion on the party and makes 2 pincer attacks against nearby statues. If a single statue takes 10 or more damage, it releases its occupant demon, who should already have its initiative rolled. The demons focus on freeing their brethren. If you need a visual, imagine the Barlgura leaping across the room to smash a statue. Area 29F, True Tomb. This quiet place is painted not in ivory light but sheer darkness. A stone dais supports the Dwarven Lord's sarcophagus, a perfectly cut slab of white marble, etched with silvered, dwarvish lettering. No treasure glitters here. No glory is sung on fresco or tapestry. Just as his beginnings were humble, so too, it seems, was Melair's end. Clasped around Melair's waist is a belt of dwarven kind added by the companion. Taking it incurs the enmity of Dumatuan, the dwarven god of secrets. This character must make a DC 14 charisma saving throw or be cursed with the following flaw. I can't keep a secret, no matter how trivial or dire. A spell of remove curse or the like rids the character of the flaw. Every day at dawn, there is a 50% chance that the character wearing the belt must repeat the saving throw or be cursed again with the same flaw. Only characters with the blood of Melair himself running through their veins avoids this curse. Area 30, Mummification Chamber. In the middle of the room rests a granite block 8 feet long, 3 feet wide, and 2 feet tall. 60 limestone urns rest in dusty wall niches. The dwarves once mummified their dead atop the stone block, which has shelves built into its sides. The funeral wrappings and embalming fluids once held here have either turned to dust or been destroyed. Each limestone urn is sealed with wax. An urn contains the desiccated internal organs of a dead dwarf, removed during mummification. We hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to keep up with our new videos to level up your campaign. Special thanks to Wyatt Troll for writing his amazing companion, available at dmsguild.com, which this video is based on. We strongly recommend getting the complete edition. We couldn't imagine running any of the campaign without it.